Hey everybody, it's Roya. Today's painting, I think, brought me to a reasonable grasp of a bunch of subjects I was contemplating over the course of previous paintings. So one thing would be how monotheism started and how unusual and radical it was to get to that theological mutation into omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent deity, which was not a normal way of grasping a deity for literally forever before then. The idea that God could be present all the time was a theological innovation, arguably one of the most important ones. And the idea that God could be invisible was a real innovation of theologians over the course of let's say 1st century BCE. And then the idea of a God being able to represent all aspects of our lives, not being a God of thunder, a God of war, a God of rain, just representing all abilities in one invisible God who's everywhere. This is so radical that we modern people cannot even grasp the magnitude of it, because that's the thing about a powerful idea. We take it for granted. So now we are atheists in this day and age, use these modern conceptions to criticize ancient texts. So that's another thing that is arguably not that wise to do, because you have to read it given its own context to be able to grasp it and judge it basically in accordance to that thing. So another thing would be basic neuroscience and psychology of development tells us that kids in a really young age, in their infancy, are uncapable to cognitively grasp continuity. So if you disappear, you actually disappear, like you don't exist anymore. That's why when you appear all of a sudden, that's the exciting thing, because as far as the kid was concerned, you just cease to exist, and now all of a sudden you're existing again, and that's just beyond comprehension, literally. And as we develop over time, we gain the cognitive ability of continuity in space and time, and we realize when people leave the room, they still exist. Okay, now in regards to art, what it is that we had this origin of art as a craft. It was fully based on craft. The origin of the word is related to craft. And we developed this craft over millennials. It kind of picked in Renaissance, and we got a grasp of representing our reality in two-dimensional surfaces and other arts, but my main focus is on painting. And then we basically abstracted out of existence, just like God. This is the idea of death of God that Nietzsche said. The idea is that with the beginning of monotheism, we got a coherent idea of all of those things represented before it, and we put it into this framework that brought all of those aspects together, and then we abstracted ourselves so far to the point that your modern religious person have an idea of God that is so abstract that is equivalent to non-existence of it. So we, as the collective consciousness of our species, kind of left the infancy stage and got the ability to comprehend abstract ideas, but we at the danger of abstracting ourselves into nothingness, basically. And that's what I think happened with art, with modern art. We didn't balance the craft with the beautiful comprehension of abstraction to be able to navigate these two sides. It's what art would be at its best, I think. And I think we have our history of art to prove that point to us. So that's what I think a relation of death of God is to the death of art. So let's go paint.